Parked here in Bettws-y-Coed on a fairly quiet side street. It looks like a few other people are using this free parking here. So I'll be gone for the next 5 hours. If the walk I plan to do is it has no setbacks. Okay, here in this same side street in Bettws-y-Coed is the courthouse. used to be the magistrates used to dish out punishments for those who stepped out of line. Okay, this is where I was going to park, just here where they got these no parking signs. They're doing some construction work here right by the old church, which St. Michael's old church. I might visit it on the way back. There's the looks a bit dilapidated, the railway museum. You want to catch the Union Pacific, here's your chance. Okay, so here's the Bettws-y-Coed railway station. It's still an active station. Crossing the bridge here. There's the Sherpa bus. A double-decker. There's the bus stop. I've got about just over 10 minutes before the bus is scheduled to depart. Nice, they got the times. S1, Carnarvon, that's the Bussa one, departs at 12:03, so that's 30 minutes time. Yeah, so I'm catching the bus from Bettws-y-Coed up to Capel Curig, and then walk back along the Snowdonia Slate Trail. It's a very popular place here, Bettws-y-Coed. It's the 10th of July, Thursday the 10th of July. You can see that car park there is pretty well full up. I think I might have been lucky to get a space in that side road. There's the bus stop again. About another just 5 or 6 minutes for the bus to arrive. Okay, I'm on a double-decker bus with fellow passengers from overseas visiting Bettws-y-Coed. Lots of outdoor shops located in Bettws-y-Coed. Of course, Bettws-y-Coed is a beautiful location, the junction of 3 valleys. That's the ugly house right there, which I'll hope to visit on the way back. There's Joe Brown's climbing shop there. Joe Brown, famous from back in the 1950s, set up new standards of rock climbing. Okay, that's what I'm going to be walking on for the next 7 miles, Snowdonia Slate Trail. Up here. Fortunately, the start of this walk is this bit of an ascent, about roughly 400 feet before it levels out. Okay. So here it is, the ascent up through this green field to begin with. Another view of the Snowdon Horseshoe. It's So I'm about maybe 200 feet above Capel Curig. So I've got, well, it's just a gradual ascent I think from now on. There's the ridge going up to Crimpau, which I got a video of, did it maybe about 3 years ago. Out of a short woodland. And there's the, you can see how steeply it goes up. There's the ascent route to Crimpau. It's a kind of minor peak, but it's quite an interesting walk. Excellent views all round. Okay. View of Llugwy there. And there's the main road that goes between Capel Curig is it, and Bettws-y-Coed. So you can see I'm 200-300 feet above that. That's warm work, carrying a heavy backpack, because there's a night bit. Oh, someone else coming. People aren't interested, not interested, they're not used to warm days in this country, and it's kind of, I would say it's in the low 70s right now. There's a nice little bit of a breeze blowing, cool breeze. But those youngsters carrying. Okay, so I think the video cut out on me for some reason or other, but they find it warm work carrying heavy backpacks, not used to the heat. And I think it's going to warm up a little bit more as the afternoon wears on. We've just come up from there, from Capel Curig, and the Crimpau is up there somewhere, and that's the footpath that goes over the pass to Llugwy, where I was 2-3 weeks ago. So, but that's the route I'm taking, the Snowdonia Slate Trail. Okay, I'm finally off that kind of awkward stony path they put there to kind of stop you kind of disappearing into marshes. Okay, so looks like here I'm on a Snowdonia Slate Trail. Is a nice smooth gravel track. So well, I got this to hopefully go along until I get to Bettws-y-Coed. So I've got a little bit more ascending to do, but gradual ascending. It's beautiful here. I'm glad I came. Llugwy, and keep on climbing up somewhere up to the high point, Snowdonia Slate Trail. Right up here somewhere. Yeah, I'm lucky to live in this general area. I'm about maybe just under an hour away, driving time. From where I live. So I might be coming up to the high point on this walk now, unless there's another high point a bit further on. From this angle, Llugwy looks quite impressive. Similar to the Welsh Matterhorn, Kinnig, well, which isn't too far away. Yeah. Continuing on the Snowdonia Slate Trail, I must be getting close to the high point on this this particular walk. Nice forest road here by the look of it. Okay, I actually feel now as though I've reached the high point. I'm entering the forest area of this walk. And I think the high point, I think it's getting, in terms of altitude, Bettws-y-Coed is only about 70 feet above sea level. And I think I must be close to 1,000 feet above sea level right now, so that's a descent of over 900 feet. But of course there are one or two ups and downs before I reach the end of the walk, so that adds to the total ascent. Walking on this forest road here, you could, which isn't very nice walking really, it's alright but nothing exciting, but you could very easily miss this. Luckily that sign trail marker is there where it really needs to be. There's the snow, so the footpath, the Snowdonia Slate Trail goes into a footpath right here. I'd have brought my walking sticks to, because this path, this fairly steep descent, when they first put these footpaths in, they're probably nice, but the rains come and wash the footpath out, so it looks like pretty much of a kind of, well, bit of a mess really, and it's steep as well, so it's awkward descending. Oops, there's a robin right there. Yeah, looking for some morsels. Alright, so continue on the descent. That woodland, rather muddy and steep footpath comes out onto this forest road again. I have an idea if I'd have stayed on that forest road, but that would have been less of an adventure. It would have been cheating. Okay, so I'm in need of a break now. I mean, I'm supposed to complete this walk all the way to Bettws-y-Coed, and I'm still less than halfway there. The ugly house where I'm planning on stopping for a break is roughly halfway. The sign to the left, Swallow Falls, straight on. The ugly house, T Hill, or Hill. But the arrow points right midway between these two tracks. So do I go? I presume I'll go here, but what I'm going to do is check the map. That signpost, stone signpost. You go down maybe less than 100 yards, and it says no public. There's a gate across the track, no public access. So so I lost 5 minutes there. It would be nice if there was a public footpath going down to the ugly house. It would save this additional uphill work here on this forest road, which I think connects to a tarmac lane, and it'll be further on. And I'll take that tarmac lane and walk down to the ugly house. And then if I still have some charge left in the battery, I'll walk along the river then and visit the Swallow Falls on the way back to Bettws-y-Coed. Fortunately, the Snowdonia slate trail markers seem to have disappeared. There are some mountain bike signs there, so it's time to check the map again. Okay, I'm off trail, so that explains I'm not seeing any Snowdonia slate trail markers. So I'll just go down here and hope it connects up with the footpath or the road I'm supposed to actually be on. I'm back on the Snowdonia slate trail. I should have come this way, which would have probably been a nicer walk. Not so much, I'll put in well, I've got another slight uphill section here, but I'm hoping I'll come up to a tarmac lane shortly, which will take me down to the ugly house. Okay, finally reached the, just shortly after, only a couple of 100 yards further on, I reached the tarmac lane. And the Snowdonia Trail looks like it goes down to the Ugly House. I arrived at the Ugly House. I'm afraid ordered a fruit scone and a cup of tea. It came to over £8, so a little bit pricey, I'm afraid. Now I first came here as a schoolboy in the 1850s, the early 1950s, I should say. I used to spend my holidays with my great aunt in Hen Roost, and I walked over here, I think, and I called in the Ugly House, early 1950s. And I remember there was no cafe then, but you could visit the house. There was an old lady there, and the charge was sixpence to enter. All right. Right, it's a very busy location, roar of traffic. Okay, not bad. It's a bit pricey, but nice. You got these tea strainers which I like. Okay, and I'll have a little wander around the little garden before I leave. Not sure how old this house is, but the first recorded inhabitant lived here, well, 1900. And this is one of those houses where if you built it, including the chimney, if you built it in less than a day, you could claim ownership. Of course, there'll be lots of people engaged on the construction in those 24 hours. Okay, I'm in the grounds belonging to the Ugly House. There's quite an extent, quite a few little footpaths going through this woodland, and there's a map. So I won't go around doing exploring, unfortunately. This Ugly House is owned by the Snowdonia Society, so obviously the price you pay for a cup of tea and a scone helps to contribute towards the funds of the Snowdonia Society. So I'll just go up there just for a few yards and see. Okay, there it is, the Ugly House, looking down from above it. Very busy road though, so it's not very noisy to have a cup of tea there. But although it looks as though it was built in early medieval times, there's no clear records, but it was probably built as a Victorian folly in the mid 19th century to attract visitors. This is the second time I've been here. The first time was, well, let's see, over 75 years ago when I was a schoolboy. Right, okay, so let's go around here. I think this is where the restrooms are, but I'm all right. On this warm day, I'm all right there. There's the restrooms up there. Okay, so let's see. I'll go down here. Okay, the Ugly House is just less than 100 yards away, so I had a little bit of a possible problem there. The Snowdonia Trail looks as though it's blocked off. I think that's because the step work is a bit tumbled down there. So as a precautionary measure, they blocked it off, but there's no diversion signs there. Look at there. That's the Afon Llugwy, I think. Look at that nice stone bridge. I think it was built by Thomas Telford around 1820. The road to Holyhead and then onwards to Ireland, which was at that time part of the United Kingdom. Okay, so hopefully it's a nice river walk from now on. And hope so. I've still got maybe 3.5. I've actually walked nearly with one or two going off the trail a bit, one or two places. I've actually walked nearly my 5 miles so far on this walk, but I've got another 3.5 miles to walk, I think, to get to Bettws-y-Coed. Yeah, so it's quite a long day for the likes of me, but it's a beautiful walk. this valley that goes down to the well, it's 100%. There is some locals that live there. There's an estate, just like a kind of council houses, I think, on the outskirts of Bettws-y-Coed, tucked off to one side. But other than that, it's a 100% tourist village, and of course it gives a lot of employment, probably seasonal to some extent, to the locals. And well, the staff in the Llugwy house were probably locals. Shabad in the background, and there's the Capel Curig side footpath from the Llugwy house, which goes along, comes out onto this track here. There's the friendly Snowdonia slate trail, so maybe from now on it'll be a path like this, but I think before long I'll be coming up to the Swallow Falls, and I think the last time I've been here along this footpath once before, and you could see the Swallow Falls from this side, but I'll see, and there was no charge, and if you go from the roadside there's a charge. Swallow Falls, it actually goes up further, but that's the main falls right there. Swallow Falls. And this is the view. Nice little bench here as well to kind of sit and meditate to the sound of falling water. Trail which goes down to the viewpoint for Swallow Falls, and it continues along this kind of like an edge overlooking the precipice down there. Good, well, can't quite see the river, but it's well over 100 feet below. And look at this, someone carved this footpath in, probably back in Victorian times. And down there somewhere is the river. I presume I've got 2 miles, it might be slightly less, back to the car in Bettws-y-Coed. And I think as the closer I get to Bettws-y-Coed, the probably better the footpaths. Because in places, since I left the Llugwy house, the riverside footpath, or the footpath in general, it's a little bit occasionally on the rocky side. So but no problem. A bit of uphill work just there, and okay, I think I've got less than 2 miles to the car, so I think I should be coming up to a tarmac lane before long. As soon as you hit an open space, you come out of the forest and into an open space, that sun hits you. So I've been, this is ideal, having mainly a woodland walk when it's warm, and it's supposed to get a lot warmer as the for the next few days. So we got a heat wave. So tomorrow it would have been probably too uncomfortable for the likes of me to have done this walk. Okay, I'm on the tarmac lane, and since I've been on this walk, I've passed quite a few parties of youngsters, especially young girls. That's walking now. It's you know, well, of course, riding mountain bikes as well is very popular in the forestry areas, but yeah, it's definitely not falling off in popularity. Yeah, they apparently like doing it. These nice tall trees here, well over 100 feet high. they might be kind of, because it's close to the picturesque or the very popular tourist village of Bettws-y-Coed. They may have left these pines standing. But it's very easy walking though along this last part of the walk. So if you've got tired legs, just the job. Look at this. Look at how high some of these pines are here. Must be at least 150 feet high there. Yeah. A mile or so of the walk always seems to take the longest, and of course I'm a bit worn out. Really, I don't. These kind of well, more or less most of the day-long walks. Look at that. That's down there somewhere. It's Bettws-y-Coed, just the other side of those trees. So it looks like I take a steep footpath descent now down towards the river. Steep, slippery descent down that hillside there, down to this crossing here, across the river and back up to the road. And that's what I think, by the Miners' Bridge. And that's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to do a road walk rather than, well, it's probably an easy trail from here on, but it's not manicured. Although I could go through the, because it's not very pleasant road walking. No, I'll cross the Miners' Bridge and do the road walking. Well, coming down here, this is a really scenic spot. Where it goes the Avon Llugwy goes through this kind of gorge. Yeah, there it is. Very a narrow gorge. Okay, and then climb up these stairs now to the road. Much easier walking, of course, along the side of the road. Of course, you do have the noise of the traffic. Where most of the locals probably live, in that little estate there. They say there is Bettws-y-Coed provides a lot of jobs, well, right through the year, really. As I say, the last mile or so, or probably just over half mile now, always seems to be the longest. And the sun's beating down on the back of my neck. I should have worn my desert sun hat. My desert sun hat today. Okay, not many people are walking on this footpath, as they call it in this country. They call them sidewalks in the States. But they're staying out the sun, and people are not used to it, as I say. Now, a lot of these houses on the side of the road are bed and breakfast houses. I stayed in one. It's a bit further down a few times. And back in 1934, I think my mother got her first job after she left school at the age of 14, working in one of these bed and breakfast places for seasonal work. You can see how noisy it is walking alongside this busy road. That's where I stayed, in that bed and breakfast place right there. I don't know if it's still a bed and breakfast, but I stayed a couple of times there. Quite a long time ago though, about 40 years ago maybe. Last refreshment stop before the car's about maybe a quarter of a mile away. So there's another little beauty spot here. Some waterfalls. And there's the bridge, the old stone bridge. Goes towards Treviel, and then up towards Llugwy, and eventually Conwy. Okay, a cup of coffee. I like it. £3.85. At least it's in a proper cup, not a plastic cup. So yeah, so this is it. It's been quite a successful day, but I'm not sure how many more of these kind of hikes I'm going to do, fairly energetic hikes. This place largely to myself. It's a great spot. It's a fish and chip restaurant. It serves a good cup of coffee. I've been going for nearly 4 3/4 hours so far, and I've walked about 9.33 miles. I don't know if you can quite see there, there's a heron. Quite actually pleased, taking no notice, just a few yards away, perched on that rock. Can't quite see with the sun shining in the lens. Yeah. Warm that people are having a dip in the stream down there. Fantastic place. Yeah. That's where I just had my coffee there. But I noticed just round the side there's a shady spot as well, but I liked it where I was. It's a little bit away from the traffic noise. Almost at the end of this walk now, and very successful day. Energetic for the likes of me, and proof positive. I'm still on the Snowdonia Slate Trail. Alright. Okay, so now I could go to, I'm ready to go to the toilet just there, that block, well that block there. But I'm a bit disgusted that they charge 50p. 50p. That's the end of this walk. My car's parked just there. So it's about 5:30 right now, so I've been going for, well, including the bus trip, about 5.5 hours.